Metropolitan Police say, we're aware of significant social media commentary. Some of the comments are personal and hurtful. This is unacceptable.
Welcome to the internet. What would you prefer? Would you like to fight for civil rights or tweet a racial slur?
Hello, friends. Trace amounts of science. Welcome back to ReddX. We're looking at some community notes from X, Twitter, whatever it is. I do have an account there still. I even paid for the premium, hoping I get monetized one of these days, but I don't think it's ever going to happen. Not unless you follow me at Dayton Does. Thank you so much. We also got Facebook, other social medias, those links in the description, but I get ahead of myself. Let's go ahead and check out some of these community notes, shall we? Relationship goals. Oh my goodness. 5 years together. Wow, that's basically forever. 5 years was the whole goal. Me and wifey done it twice now. So Community Notes gets in here and says the couple in the photos are not together anymore because the man, Andre Rebello, ended his mother in their home. She now has a new relationship. And I assume that means that the woman, not the mom, because, yeah, mom's not having any more relationships. Raising a murderer's child. I wonder how the new boyfriend feels about that, you know? I could definitely understand being a step-parent, but I do want all the Carfax, you know what I mean? I want to see everything that's in the background, just in case you might be feeding a future murder someday. Not that it's genetic, probably, maybe. Lower IQ can lead to, like, lower inhibition, though. And IQ is genetic, ergo. Whatever, I'm digging way too deep into this. Suffice to say, I would not be involved. Even if I was 10 years into the relationship and I found this out, I would cease being involved. There is no same shape. Select two objects that are the same shape. Well, I picked the vor hole and the 8. The 8 is just like 2 vor holes. Community Notes comes in and says, cylinder. Yep, they're different colors. That doesn't mean they're not the same shape. I think we all need to go back to kindergarten, man. This is actually a good representation of what feminism is doing to men, making them docile and weak. I mean, some of the quote-unquote men they're pumping out nowadays are some of the most docile and weak specimens I've ever seen. I don't think it's just feminism doing it. It's like the 24-hour fear news cycle that doesn't let you focus on anything else. They want you right here. I gave up on all that, man. I don't give a fuck no more. I'm trying to develop my own little platforming game. People are like, oh, election things. I'm like, yeah, I don't care. I do show off a bit of my platforming game in a members-only video that's going up, where we name everybody, but also I wanted to show you some of the things I've been working on. So if you are a member, look forward to that, and if you're not, well, get in there right now. Wait, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, docile and weak, totally. Community Note says, this is a dog, not a man.
Hey, look at that! Look at that! No shit!
I think that's why they said representation, but sometimes Community Notes just goes off, you know? One reason for that is essentially it's the only way that they can demonetize Twitter posts, even though the RPM on Twitter is like, pretty dog shit. Hey, I mentioned a dog. There's a picture of a dog. That means it's time to move on to the next post. This is wild. Snorlax voted sexiest woman of 2023. This is not Snorlax. The person pictured is in fact Gorlock, the Destroyer. I like how the collective internet just said, that is your name now. We will all know you as this. And so it was, and unfortunately, yeah, now Gorlock is in everybody's collective consciousness. This user says cats can be vegan about 100 times. A Community Note says cats are carnivores. Yeah, please don't make your cat vegan, okay? They love crunching bones and eating organs. They're just hairy little ghouls that hang around your house, but they're so cute, though. This user says, wait, shouldn't the letters being projected on her chest be upside down and backwards? Yeah, because that's how the sun is seeing the earth, upside down and through a mirror.
You're so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
Community Notes just says, no. Light is passing directly through it, okay? How would you even conceive of it coming another way? Like, really? We're doomed, bro. A thread. Did you know Kim Jong-un and his family are Jewish? Kim Jong-un is not Jewish. Neither is anyone in his family. I don't know. On my visit to North Korea, I saw him with a dreidel in his pocket. Or maybe he was just happy to see me. Popbase says Kamala Harris formally becomes the first black woman and first Asian American to lead the ticket of a major political party. Carter says, ain't she Indian? What you mean Asian American? Community Note says, India is in Asia. Which it is. Shares a border with Pakistan. Then we're getting into the Middle East. It's right under China and Nepal, but I don't expect anybody with a public school education to actually know that unless they're interested in world history or, geography and stuff like that, which most people aren't. What are we interested in? Brain rot. We'll doom scroll it into our eyeballs all day long. X is a big part of that. I guess I'm also participating in that. Anyway, next post. Watch a latex-clad billionaire punch out poor people in the debut gaming trailer for Batman Arkham Shadow. Well, I already was going to buy the game, but you just sold it to me like double. Sure, why not? I'm sure he only hates poor people ironically.
You parked over the line.
Community Note says, Batman does not punch random poor people, as the tweet suggests. He specifically attacks criminals. Yeah, but like low-level thug criminals. And who is that overwhelmingly? Poor people. I'm sorry. If he's going after corrupt government officials and pharmaceutical executives, investor fraudsters, then yeah, maybe at that point he would be fighting rival billionaires, but as is the current case, I don't think PC Gamer's tweet was fully inaccurate. And to be clear, a headline like that only makes me more apt to buy the game, not less. Jake says, guys, what are the possible effects of the 20 cigarette adapter? Steven says, what do cigarettes even do? Community Note says, cancer.
Go rolled up tight and lit on fire. Suck 'em down till you expire.
Yeah, mostly. It's cancer and it's hijacking the dopamine pathways in your brain to create more cancer. It's really a horrible habit. Although the 20 cigarette adapters is sure to make you quit, right? You'll be good and sick after one deep rip. Next post, Isabella says, lesbians can be attracted to men. Lesbians can kiss men. They can do it with men, or date multiple men, and do it with multiple men, or cuddle men. They can do whatever they want with men, consensually. The Community Note says, lesbians are not attracted to men. That's true. But little did you know, I identify as a lady, and I'll put that girl dong in your mouth. Oh, man. I don't know if we should keep that in. It's fine. It's probably fine. New species of sea anemone discovered. Oh, my wife sent me this video. Community Note says, this is clearly a penis. Which it is. That's why we're going to blur it. And we're probably not even going to say the word that it is. So maybe we should have skipped this whole post entirely. Oh well, too late. Terry says, did y'all hear about Vladimir Putin opening the oldest vault to reveal images of biblical figures? They all black. Every single one. Community Note says, Putin has not opened the oldest vault, or any vault for that matter. No, but see, it's far enough away that people won't fact check it. Do you know Vladimir Putin? Can you call him up and ask him about the vault? He'll know what you're talking about if you get a hold of him. Sure, whatever. Next post is from our good friend of the channel, Andrew Tate. You want to see cruelty? Put a female in charge. Ashley says, friendly reminder that every single war in history was started by a man. Community Note says that is empirically false. Not only have female leaders started many wars, but also recent academic research has shown that historically states led by queens engaged in war more than states led by kings. Damn. I don't want to be seen agreeing with Andrew Tate. I can really only go from my own personal experience, and yeah, my wife is ready to start wars over some shit, let me tell you. Like, it doesn't actually matter. And she's like, no, it does. Why do they feel that way? I don't know. Just accept that they do and move on. Anyway, Delta says, can someone explain why people are anti-nuclear? Blair Doolder says, because coal is cleaner. Community Note says coal is not, in fact, cleaner than nuclear energy. Yeah, we just get all the bullcrap going up in the sky so we don't see it. With radioactive waste, it gets complicated. You gotta go throw it in the ocean or bury it under a playground or something. Yeah, those are the main anti-nuclear points. Think of the children, won't you? We never do. Whenever they say that, it's always bullshit. Anyway, Daily Mail says, Simone Biles flaunts her Birkins, Range Rover, and Texas mansion, but the $25 million Olympic gymnast has given no handouts to her penniless birth mom, who works as a cashier to make ends meet. Community Note says, her mom abandoned her. Source, literally you. There you go. You didn't make the investment, so you don't get to have any of the juice. You know? I don't care if I have 25 billion. Let my birth father come up to me and be like, oh, I see you made it. Can I have some? I'll be like, who the fuck are you? Get out of here.
You're not my dad.
I'd break my stepdad off for real, though. Shout out to stepdads again in this video. Pedro Neto? Yeah, that's pretty neat. He has a blue button emoji and a couple hourglasses, and Community Note says, yeah, this person is impersonating Pedro Neto, likely because the user's a virgin. Probably. We've got a lot of time to impersonate people online. Pedro Neto does not have X, only Instagram. Wow, X dunking on itself. Or is it really a dunk if it's a statement of fact? I guess it is, because why couldn't you lure him over? Too much hate posting? Pedro wants to keep that out of his mind? Yeah, I do get it. The Guardian says, England riots. How has two-tier policing myth become widespread? Well, I haven't heard of it. Community Note says, The Guardian have been telling people about two-tier policing based on race and sexuality for decades. Well, now it's time to really talk about it. And by talk about it, I mean spin the narrative in a way that favors me. That's what it is for everybody, essentially. Just a global culture of victims trying to compare who has it worse instead of trying to progress to something collectively better. Whatever. This is not the fucking video for that. I think it's hilarious that 4chan Anons were trolling the British police when they were trying to stop native Englanders from rioting. We need more operations like that. We're not playing Habbo Hotel anymore. This is affecting real-world change. You can take your two-tier policing and stick it where the sun don't shine. How about that? Boy, I'm getting heated. You don't want me to go down this road. We'll go to the next post. Community Notes really just took the day off, huh? Community Note says, well, we're trying, man. Just give it a little more time. That's how it would be. Midas says, funniest community note of all time. And they say, thank you. And then Midas said, this is so funny. And they said, thank you again. Which essentially what they're doing is demonetizing a 500,000 view post. Which, given Twitter's ad rates, is probably only about 10 to 20 bucks, but I want my 10 to 20 bucks. Whatever, though. If they're having fun, hey, who am I to say boo? Representative Jamie Raskin. Is it Jaime Raskin? I do hope that it's Jaime, because if you go by Jamie and not just James, it sounds a little weird. It's like putting Jimmy, Joey, Bobby on your job application, you know? You want to be a bit more formal. Again, I digress. The democratic world must stand up for the rule of law in Venezuela and oppose Maduro's assault on the electoral process and free speech. The right-wing attack on democratic institutions anywhere is a threat to freedom everywhere. And then Community Note says, actually, Maduro is a self-proclaimed Marxist. I reject fascism in all of its forms, personally. But yes, imagine them being that close to each other on the horseshoe. Two different sides of the same coin. It's really what all of our elected leaders want, you know? They don't think we're smart enough to rule ourselves. They gotta take all of our money and redistribute it. I fucking hate it. I didn't think Community Notes posts would turn my crank so much, but it's really ramping me up towards something. Mr. Beast got a Community Note. Cool! Over the last few days, I've become aware of the serious allegations of Ava Tyson's behavior online, and I'm disgusted and opposed to such unacceptable acts. During that time, I've been focused on hiring an independent third party to conduct a thorough investigation to ensure blah, blah, blah. I think I quote retweeted this one. I said, yeah, we hired somebody to investigate it and found that we didn't do anything wrong. What? What's the problem? Community note says, Mr. Beast fully knew that Ava Chris Tyson conducted unacceptable acts online. Mr. Beast was in a server containing minors with Tyson and other members of the Mr. Beast crew talking about NSFW topics. Damn, basically like the only apology we got out of Mr. Beast, and the community noted that shit. Factually false, spurious, and irrelevant. I'm just gonna say objection. Objection! I have really been following this Mr. Beast thing consistently, but nobody seems to give a shit. Like, normies outside the terminally online, they don't care. They just want to watch somebody drive a car into a wall. That's what they showed up for. They'll keep buying the chocolate bars. I'm sure some allegations will leak out at some point, but yeah, there's a lot of people not looking at it twice, and it pains me inside. I don't care about basically any of the other allegations. It's this one that is the most hateable. This is the one that everybody should focus on and pin him to the ground with. But no, we're just scattershot, seeing what sticks. It's the internet, I guess. You mark my words, he's gonna weather the storm. He'll wait it out. And then we'll move on to whoever's next. Cue something up in that 24-hour news cycle. Anyway, here's Mrs. Massacre, and she says, Deadpool and Wolverine is not only not woke, it's completely anti-woke. It was so refreshing to see two hetero badass male heroes in a movie again, and no fucking virtue signaling anywhere in sight. Just a great movie. At Disney, don't mess this up, hashtag Deadpool Wolverine. Community note says, not only character Deadpool was originally conceived to be openly pansexual, but in the picture, multiple scenes describe his attraction to doing it with men. It was with the TVA agents at the beginning of the movie. Yeah, but maybe he was just doing it sarcastically, you know? Like, yeah, I do it with guys sometimes, but only ironically. I get so lost sometimes. I don't think we'll ever see anything mainstream that is quote-unquote anti-woke. Although I'm sure Disney does realize, with all their marketing expertise, that there is some pushback against woke culture at this point. We watched Dustborn and Concord, those two games, just crater into the ground on Steam. And yeah, that's pretty good proof to me, at least in the gaming sphere, that people ain't into it. It was tolerated for a little while, you know, I'll let you get away with it for funsies, but when the deluge never stops, okay, at a certain point it is time to push back. For some reason, there's people on both sides that don't understand live and let live. I guess that's just, yeah, the extremes of the horseshoe. I'm over here in the middle not giving a shit unless it affects me directly. But, you know, everybody can choose how they want to live. That's fine. I hope the next Deadpool and Wolverine is twice as gay. If only so you'll take a lesson in media literacy. That's the only thing she's looking for. It's like, yeah, there was no woke stuff and the movie's pretty good. Okay, were there any underlying themes? She's like, I don't know. I watched the whole thing. I don't understand. I know you don't. Please don't quit your day job, okay? This next one, Community Notes versus Dr. Disrespect. Oh! I gotta cut him out of the boogie thing when we compile it. Think Elijah used them for a meme or two in there. Can't be seen doing that no more.
Oh no!
He says, little brainwashed woke boy putting out Dragon Ball Z graphics with Kendrick Lamar lines. Got me big time. Look at him, not even denying it, because he already admitted to it. And some of those lines in Euphoria kind of fire. I don't know why we throw it over a Dragon Ball Z meme, but you do you, I guess. Community Note says this is neither a Dragon Ball Z picture nor a Kendrick Lamar line, yet the information in that picture is right, since the two-timer did in fact admit to inappropriately messaging a minor. Yeah, undeniable. Another user comes in and says, hey, is this you playing with a minor? And Dr. Disrespect says, good one, she, her. The internet will never fix your real threat, depression. Yeah, just completely avoid the point, jump to personal attacks. That's great. I really like to see that. Community Note says, the real threat is Dr. Disrespect, Guy Beam, as he texted minors inappropriately, making him a PDF file. Since all these things came to light, he admitted to things. He's not uploaded anything on YouTube, but he's poked his head up on Twitter a few times, and luckily, yeah, people are still waiting there to just bash it right back down. Eventually, he'll make his big return, and I'm gonna go dig through those comments section. You know it. Battle shall be waged for mine own amusement. Anyway, Internet Hall of Fame says 65 years for robbing a UPS truck is crazy. Community Note says, that man is going to jail for intimate assault and ending someone's life. Where did the UPS truck thing come from? We just made that up for funsies? Took it completely out of context? Like, this'll get some clicks. I guess that's how it is to be a content mill. You really just have to not give a fuck. Who's gonna hold you accountable? Community Notes? Psh, whatever. We get more of a boost from that than anything else. So don't forget to follow our crappy page. Anyway, we're moving on. Royal Bobby says, any objections? And he's got 2 bullets, and one says Cure 4, and the other says PDF files. And at first glance, I say, nice. No objections whatsoever. Then I read the community note, and it says, it's worth noting that the original poster, Cody Dallas Reed, then working as a corrections officer, was arrested on molestation and distribution of child images charges. Oh, God. Well, I hope you're saving both of those for yourself. Do it right now. Walk the talk. Practice what you preach. But he doesn't believe it. He never believed it. It was all, like, just this horrible cover-up. I hate everything. Don't trust nobody. Don't trust the words that they say. You gotta look at the actions. That'll tell you who they really are. But on the plus side, I mean, dude was arrested. Probably getting pounded in the cornhole. Bet you wish you had one of them bullets right now, don't you? Yeah, we're moving on. Stu Peters says they're literally worshipping a golden calf at the Olympics opening ceremony. Wake the F up! Community Note says, that is a bull. Yeah, I mean, I guess. I think the main takeaway here is nobody enjoyed the Olympics opening ceremony to the point that they pulled it down. Their own YouTube upload, and they're like, oh no, well, we fucked that one up, we gotta bury this.
What the f*** is this piece of sh**?
It's precious. And it gives me some hope for the future. Not too much, but a little. Isaac's Army says, LeBron James? Reptilian? Yeah, reptilians are the best at basketball. I don't know if you knew that. Community Note says, LeBron James is not a reptilian. This individual just has bad Wi-Fi. Yeah, a little glitching on the eyes. I guess I see that now. He definitely didn't blink sideways, so he's not a reptilian. But with the glitching, I don't know. Maybe he's an android. Oh! Androids are the best basketball players now. Harold says, join the ACP. Oh, God. You think you hate communists, but you don't hate them anywhere near enough. Harold says, reclaim America. Fight against the enemy state. Achieve victory for the working class. Hashtag American Communist Party. Community Note says, this photo is from a Halo 3 trailer. Harold doesn't know that. Shh. His mom didn't let him play Halo 3. You're not mad at me or America, Harold. You're mad that your parents named you Harold. I don't blame you for that. But maybe it's time to change it up. Take control of our own lives. But communists really don't want that. They're like, the state will tell me how to live. And you're okay with that? Whatever. Useful idiot. Trump is falsely accusing Harris of donating to Minnesota Freedom Fund, bailing out quote-unquote dangerous criminals. Community Note says, on June 1st, 2020 at 3:34 p.m. Minnesota time, Kamala Harris tweeted, if you're able to chip in now to the Minnesota Freedom Fund to help post bail for those protesting on the ground in Minnesota. The tweet contained a donation link. I mean, depending on how far you get to either side of that good old horseshoe, protesters could definitely be considered dangerous criminals, okay? That's thought crime, and we don't sign off on that around here. You go with the flow or you leave. Love it or leave it, commie. When the truth is, a true patriot should be able to stand up and say, hey, what our government is doing is wrong. But nobody bothers anymore because nobody fucking listens anyways. So I'm not gonna bother either. We're moving on. Jen Denial Dooms Democrat says her name is Harris or VP Harris. News reports calling her Kamala may not be intentionally disrespectful or demeaning, but that is how she is treated. It's wrong. Community Note says Jennifer Rubin referred to Kamala Harris as Kamala multiple times 2 days ago. That's too hilarious. Only we can say that word. You're not part of the in-group. So you have to call her VP Harris. If you're offended by somebody using somebody else's first name in passing, then, I don't know, dude, get a hobby. At the very least, apply the same standard to yourself. Could you do that? She can't do that. She's not going to do that. And moving on. Discussing Film says a Skibbity Toilet movie and TV franchise is in the works from Michael Bay. There's some deep lore to Skibbity Toilet, alright? I sat down and watched it with my 6-year-old. If you'd be interested in my critical film analysis of all 77 Skibbity Toilet parts, let me know. And Neb comes in here and says, you idiots keep falling for fake discussing film accounts, and it's embarrassing! And then Community Note says, yeah, this is the real discussing film account. I know, it's hard to grasp. Michael Bay's trying to get them while they're young. You like those explosions, kid? Good dopamine hit to your brain? We gotta have one at least every 5 seconds or they're gonna try and scroll the movie. It might be a complete abortion, but it could also be pretty cool. I don't know. Not deep or interesting, but fun to watch, as a Michael Bay film is wont to be. Anyway, Axios says, the Trump campaign and Republicans have tagged Harris repeatedly with the Border Czar title, which she never actually had. And then Community Note says, actually, Axios referred to Harris as Biden's border czar in 2021. Yeah, we've seen how that one went, huh? You think America's gonna survive another 4 years of this shit? You think it's actually gonna change no matter which one of them get in charge? You either play the game or you end up like JFK, right? Anyway, we're moving on. What is that flying out of Trump's shoe? Could it have a tracking device in it? Community Note says, yeah, that's a insole, a shoe insert. But it might have an RFID chip in it, Community Notes. You don't know. Let's say some militant militia group chops off the president's foot. How are we ever supposed to find it again? Unless we have our tracking insoles. It's fine. They cost $100 each, but it's taxpayer money, so who really cares? Anyway, Sneeko updates. Oh boy, the based man-child himself. Instead of making a video covering the Chris Teichen allegations, Moist Critical instead dedicates 15 minutes of the video to Sneeko, lying about his perspective on the Dr. Disrespect situation. Community Note says, Moist Critical did make a video covering the Ava Tyson allegations. He had openly condemned her for communicating with a minor in an inappropriate manner. Moist Critical called out Sneeko in the last 5 minutes of the video for his views on the age of consent. And then this is some sort of poetic justice because that's the same sword that Sneeko used to take Moist Critical down a peg or two, and that's why he decided to stop doing commentary stuff. Because while Sneeko wants to marry kids, apparently Moist thinks that it's fine if they want to chop their junk off, and I'm sort of in the camp of like leave kids alone and let them be children, but that seems to be the unpopular opinion these days. If I don't program these kids and tell them how to live, then somebody else will. And that's a problem. Why not just let them figure it out themselves like they used to, you know? Here's Astrid Wet with 2 T's, and she says, I'm not a prostitute. Community Note says, missing context, Astrid is a sex worker who performs these acts for money. Per numerous definitions, a prostitute is somebody who does that for money. You can pay for her services via her Twitter bio. Well, I'm not in the market, but hell of an endorsement from Community Notes, I guess. I'm sure there's plenty of guys out there that would drop a few bills to have a night with basic white girl Astrid. Unfortunately, they mostly look like Boogie 2988. Didn't I say I stopped talking about them? God damn it. We'll keep it moving. Here's an Irish guy with a name I'm not even going to try to say, and he says, to be an Irish Republican is to be vigorously anti-fascist. Community Note says, historically, that's incorrect. The IRA was in favor of the fascist invasion of Ireland. Yeah, but that's because it totally got, co-opted, man. We were only pretending to be fascists ironically. God, you don't even get it. What they wanted was their own brand of fascism, not the English fascism. And as far as all that goes, I don't know. I guess we're moving in the quote-unquote right direction. Still on the horseshoe, though. Kaguya's top gal says makes a video about any topic like the good grifter he is, but won't make a video on the biggest YouTuber being related to a PDF file. And Community Note says, well, he did talk about it and said that he's going to make a full video about it. Did that ever come about? I don't care. I'm so burnt out on all of it. So good, Moist stands in the Community Notes. Make it happen. Hashtag cryptozoology, hashtag monster, hashtag Ohio, hashtag ancient aliens, hashtag strange creature. Creepy monster caught on camera, located in Ohio. Oh, that's the Ohio Rizzler. We finally found him. Community Note says, this is an owl. I mean, it's an owl with a human face, isn't it? I can feel it staring into my soul. Its smug aura mocks me. Anyway, main hoe is crazy. Throwback to when Kamala Harris was just a side hoe. Oh no. Community Note says, Montel Williams and Kamala Harris dated in 2001. The other woman, pictured in blue, is Williams' daughter. In this sense, and using OP's vernacular, Harris was not his side hoe, but was indeed his main hoe. I mean, does he have some side hoes? I mean, he's Montel Williams, for God's sake. He had a daytime talk show. He definitely got some side hoes. We just don't want to talk about that in the Community Notes, do we? Oh, here's one that I really like. Metropolitan Police say, we're aware of significant social media commentary. Some of the comments are personal and hurtful. This is unacceptable.
Welcome to the internet. What would you prefer? Would you like to fight for civil rights or tweet a racial slur?
He's like trying to make it human for just a minute. And then they start threatening you because they're the police and they don't really know how to operate any differently. Community Note says, being able to speak out against police behavior is not only acceptable, it is crucial to a free society. Hey, didn't I say the same thing about government a bit earlier? Absolutely. What are you expecting them to hold themselves accountable? Laughable. That's impossible even for a regular person. How does it look for a person that wants to ascend and have authority over others? Not a good look. Stick it to them whenever possible in my book. Here's an absolutely brutal Community Note. J.D. Vance says, are you a racist? And it's a campaign ad where he mentions his mother getting fired because of undocumented immigrants. Community Note comes in here to set the record straight and says, J.D. Vance's mother utilized her position as a nurse to steal prescribed medication from her patients. Not because of undocumented immigrants. That is too comical. You probably didn't want to wheel that one out there, JD. Trying to humanize the plight and make it all sympathetic and stuff. I think you end up just shooting both yourself and your mother in the foot. Nicely done. Smooth moves. Here's Neve, and she says, raw milk is safer than pasteurized milk. Objectively untrue. Pasteurized just to kill the bacteria. You're drinking Listeria milk because it's safer? Community Note says raw milk may contain pathogens such as Cryptosporidium, STEC, Listeria monocytogenes, and Salmonella enterica, which can cause death. Pasteurization of milk led to dramatic reductions in diseases and mortality previously associated with unpasteurized milk consumption. And then Neve saw that Community Note, and do you think she changed her ways, or do you think she was just like, whatever, I like raw milk? You're allowed to like it. You're not allowed to call it safer than pasteurized milk. Here's a post about the moon landing. On July 20th, 1969, 55 years ago today, Apollo 11 touched down on the moon. And then Johnny comes in and says, this photo's fake. Community Note says, it is not. I'm pretty sure we all collectively decided that that's pretty real. Unfortunately, Johnny bought into the meme where we all thought it would be fun to say that it isn't real, and he's like, yeah, I'm 100% on board with that. Tried to stop him, tried to correct him, but there he goes, off and running. Dylan Dennis. I don't really know who he is, just another douche in the douche parade, I guess. He says, if Jake Paul could knock me out, every single person who likes this will get $50,000. I'll put it in my contract. Community note says, Dylan Dennis's net worth is $2 million. He would only be able to give $50,000 to 40 people. He's known to delete tweets of giveaways once he gets community noted. And what do you know? That tweet probably went away ASAP. You mean people don't actually give away free money on Twitter? You mean it's a thinly veiled ploy to gain more followers? Gosh, that's mind-blowing. That's why I don't thinly veil my ploys. I asked you right at the front of the video, like, hey, could ya? And if you don't wanna or you don't use it, that's fine. Hell, I don't want to use it half the time. Anyway, we're moving on. Here's Boogie. Oh my god! According to the internet, I lied about cancer. However, for the last 2 years, I've been treating the symptoms of that cancer. Blood tests, medications, and so much more. We still have one test left to do to verify which cancer it is. For now, we've been treating the blah, blah, blah. Community note says, Boogie has admitted to lying about cancer. Yeah, remember that dog and pony show? Good God. Again, I wish I could forget. Unfortunately, it's taking up bandwidth in my mind forever. We can't go back. This post has not Sammy saying a little bit of bleach and vinegar actually helps the flowers live longer. Community note says, mixing bleach and vinegar or any other acid releases chlorine gas, which is toxic. Oh, these roses look so pretty. Oh no, poisonous mustard gas. Well, we all make choices. This is why you don't believe things that you read online. In that way, I guess community notes is a good thing, and also it is a chance to laugh, like at this one, posted by John Hinckley. Hey, that's a familiar name. Violence is not the way to go. Give peace a chance. Important context. John Hinckley attempted to assassinate U.S. President Ronald Reagan in 1981. And there's the source. Yeah, but he thought like a robot demon dog was telling him to do it or something, right?
I'm just possessed with demons, like in The Exorcist.
I learned all of my history from the whitest kids you know, so now we're all on board with this delusion. Tarzan Geef says, I haven't thought about PewDiePie in a long ass time, but this showed up on my feed and it is extremely hilarious to see someone with an Argentinian flag defend someone who has used tiny mustache man imagery repeatedly in videos over their career. Community Notes says, yeah, that picture provided shows zero tiny mustache man imagery. PewDiePie's wearing a British army uniform. But it looks similar to the time, so it has to be that thing I don't like, because I don't like him too, so I have to just make things up. That's how you get people to your side. You just make things up. Works for politics. This is a political-ass episode. Kind of worked for LinkedIn Lunatics. I don't think it works as much here. This is like too political. Oh well, who cares? We're in it now. Ellis says people were tweeting shit like, that's what England deserves for being colonizers last night. In a game against Spain, by the way. C. Elar says, England ruined every country they came across. Spain didn't. Yeah, we were the nice colonizers. You asked the Philippines about that one. They're still pissed off. Community Note says, yeah, the Spanish Empire was one of the most destructive and deadly in human history. Well, they certainly got some shit done. Hasn't exactly panned out how they thought, though, I think. So, oh well, sometimes that's how it goes when you roll the dice. Oh, this is a community note that mentions me, personally. People who aren't terminally online. Nug says, breaking photo of the man who tried to get Trump has been released and he's in custody. And attached is a photograph of Samuel Hyde. Community note says, at this point, we all get the Sam Hyde joke, but people who aren't terminally online might not realize that it's a joke. I mean, that's part of the joke, isn't it? Then we all get to laugh at them and say, haha, you thought it was real. But I understand why that's not good for advertisers. Advertisers generally don't like that. So we gotta get you noted. Sorry, bro. And truth is, yeah, Probably had enough community notes for one day. Sorry, bro. Video's over. Sign up on the Patreon or the YouTube memberships if you would. I appreciate it. Check us out over on Fourth Wall if you're looking for some merch. We got some other stuff in the works. I'll make that a bit more public as we move towards the weekend, so look forward to that. Thank you guys, as always, for supporting the channel in the way that you do. Absolutely amazing. Best community on the internet, bar none. And I want you all to remember that you are loved, you are worthy, you definitely, definitely deserve it, and I shall see you in the next one. So until then, bye-bye.